get this party started by introducing our illustrious hosts, and I guess we'll have you get the party started there, Ray.
Hi guys, I'm Ray Smith. Me and my wife Sandra Johnson are with Indy Realty. Tell you a little bit about myself. Been in Tucson since 1996. Came here from overseas. I'm a retired military guy. United States Air Force, was at DM. Retired out there for 22 years in 2003. And then I moved on to Raytheon Missile Systems for 16 years. And then after that, retired from them and then went into Realty with my beautiful wife. And right now we're under a new brokerage called Indy Realty. It's a local brokerage here in Tucson. And we're very excited to be a part of it. Sandra?
Well, I actually started in the real estate industry back in 2004. I was co-owner of a home inspection franchise. And so I actually called myself a professional lunch eater. I was always attending meetings, with to be marketing and talking with agents. And, I did that for years, stepped away from it for a while, and ended up in the self-storage industry. And I managed, I was a regional manager for a family-owned company here in Tucson. And so at the point that I knew I was going to be leaving that and starting something new, I got recruited onto a team and started my real estate career at that time. So I'm in about 8 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, and me myself, I'm in for about 3 years. I got into real estate because I was watching my wife work and thought it'd be better if I could help her. So we decided, hey, let me go and try to get the real estate license. I went into real estate to the class with her son. We both went through the real estate class. We both passed. I got a 99. He got a 81.
That's the story he tells, because you don't get your score when you pass your state exam.
Yeah, nice.
You just pass or you fail. So I understand that my son outscored him in the classes.
Every single time. So only way I can get back at him is to tell everybody that when we both took our final exams, I got a 90-something. He got like a 70-something. He just passed.
Just barely passed.
Yeah.
So this is just a feeling that Raymond's running with here. He feels like he got a 98 and that Derek didn't. So
yeah, you got to go with your feelings, right?
Yeah. Got to do what you have to do.
Who's the other one? And I guess a question that kind of we ask you on the Common Good Radio Show regularly, but certainly one I think our audience would enjoy hearing. What's special about Indy Realty? What made you guys choose that? And, it's something that they can expect from that and from you guys. That's maybe a little different than what they expect elsewhere.
I'll tell you what, Indy stands for independent. And that's what attracted us to it. Not only that, but we really just like our broker. He made quite an impression on me back when I was taking my first company classes when I was with my previous broker. And he started the brokerage. We were actually the first agents to sign on, and we're excited about it. We love the independence. We love that we can do business our way. I mean, the real estate department wants you to do it their way too, don't get me wrong. But within the guidelines that they set, we have a lot of freedom to grow any way that we would like to. And so we have been really busy developing our marketing materials, and we started from scratch, making our signs and our, mail out pieces and things like that. And so that creative energy that goes into a new company like that is just really exciting. And I think that our clients so far are really benefiting from the energy that we're bringing to the table, because it's something new and exciting, and it gives us that opportunity to share the company with other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, and just definitely what I hear, and granted, obviously I'm a little biased. I'm on the show with you, and we're friends, but it seems like you go that extra mile, unlike I've heard. I mean, it seems like sometimes it really wears you out and you're really burned out. But I'm guessing for those homeowners, and whether it's buying or selling, they really appreciate that little extra bit that you do.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why we're really into real estate, is that I think me and Sandra are always trying to say that we're in it for people. We're in the people business and not in the building business. So we're trying to get people we're taking these big, large payments or big, large sales and it's their first and their largest one they're ever going to do in their whole lives, and making sure that it's worthwhile, that they have good memories of it. So yeah, we go the extra mile, but to us, it's not. We really believe that this should be the norm. You know, that the first thing should be coming in your mind is, what can I do to get my client the best price for their home? And it may take a little bit of effort out on your part, but we're going to put that little effort in. That's what we're selling. We're selling our ability to be positive about it, to be aggressive, and also to be excited. So when you meet us and we're talking about your property, we're excited. Once we have your property and we have you, we're excited, because we plan on not only having you as a client, maybe have a friend later on. We don't ever want to stop knowing you the minute we sell your home. So it's more about being in business, and Indy allows us to do that a lot easier, a lot freer than we were before. So that's why I think why we do it. I mean, Indy's, I like the fact that it's independent. It reminds us that we have independence, that we have the ability to go forth and make some decisions, like I said, well within the rules of ADRE, which is the Arizona Department of Real Estate, and make sure we follow those rules and live by those rules. And as long as you're doing that, real estate is real estate. In all reality, all of us are real estate. All people who have their license, we're all real estate agents. And what separates us is that the fact that we believe in the people that we're working for. We believe in ourselves, we believe in our company. So it was easier for us to go out there and sell ourselves. We believe in what the product that we present to any client, and what Indy brings.
And you kind of brought up a point there. There are several, or a lot of real estate agents. I think you told me at one time there's over 6,000 in Pima County, and it seems like each person has their own kind of specialty. What would you say kind of is like you guys' specialty within the real estate field?
Personally, I think is that we like I just said, it's a people business. It's not a building business. And having that mentality when we go to meet our clients or we go to interview for a job, letting them know that we want to know who you are. We want to build relationships with you. And so once you start building a relationship, understand what they want. Because if you think of the person first, what we do as clients, if we do as a real estate agent, first thing you're doing is say, okay, everything that you want, how can we help you? What can we get for you? It's not about us. We're going to do the job. We just know how we can do it the best, give you the best price you need for your house. When you say, Sandra?
I think it's also the passion that we bring to the table, because we don't do anything half done. I mean, we come in, it's like the radio show. You said, yay, when do you want to start? We'll start next week. Let's just jump in with both feet. We bring that passion to what we're doing with our clients as well. And so even though in this market, everyone knows it's a seller's market, we're still out doing open houses. We're sending out postcards. We just believe in doing it right. And it doesn't really matter if our client, if it's, a starter home or if it's $1 million home. We're going to bring everything we have to the table. And I think it's rare when you have a market that's, I know if I list a house, it's going to sell. But my goal is to make sure that it's going to sell for the most money for my client, and then the easiest transaction for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we will talk about all that and more after this break. This is the I'm Real Estate Show with Sandra Johnson and Ray Smith, or Ray Smith and Sandra Johnson, depending on how you say it. But we'll be back right after this break. You hang in right there.
Welcome back. We'd like to welcome you back to the I Am Real Estate Show. This is Ray Smith with my lovely wife, Sandra Johnson from Indy Realty. Now we're going to take this segment to let you know what we plan on doing about our show and the kind of segments we plan on having. And I'll let Sandra go ahead and tell you what we plan on doing for the show.
Well, the show's name is I Am Real Estate, so we expect to be talking about real estate. We want to cover some market updates. I know in this market, there's a lot of news out there about what's going on, and we see some slight adjustments. We'd like to talk to you about what those adjustments mean. Any changes? Sometimes as agents, we're all kind of sitting around the water cooler, if you will, talking about how was your open house this weekend? Have we gone from having 20 people through on an open house to I had 3 people through? So, I mean, the change can be at that level, where we're going, hey, I don't know what happened. Last week I had 20, this week I have 3. And so.
And really, Sandra, bring up the fact that anytime we meet we talk to a lot of people and they know we're in real estate. They always want to know how's the market.
Yeah.
So I think if you listen to our show, we'll be able to tell you once a week how's the market going. But that's one of the first things. Hey, how's the market going? And we had to sit there and explain to them. So what we're going to do is have them listen to our radio show. Say, hey, come on to the show. And we'll tell you how the market is every week. We'll give you our insight on what we think is going on and the trends. Go ahead, Sandra.
Yeah, we'd also like to bring you some of the current real estate news. You know, I'm sure whether you're following it on social media or in the, you know, regular news channels, there's a lot that comes up in real estate that may not be day-to-day real estate issues, but still current real estate issues that would be of interest to either a homeowner or someone who's looking to buy or sell. Either one.
Well, someone that may be looking and coming into real estate, some little tidbits about here's some of the things that are going on. If you want to go into real estate, here are kind of things you need to think about. I think a lot of times they see the guys on TV and they watch those shows that are on TV and like, wow, that's real estate. And yes, that is real estate, but that's the 1% of real estate. There's the 99% the rest of us who are sitting here in the grinding in the bottom and doing things. And once you come and see what it's like, and you'll hear about on the show what are the things we go through and how we navigate through that stuff to make sure that we stay within the rules of the ADRE, Arizona Department of Real Estate.
Yeah, we'd also like to bring a community focus to the show because the things that are going on in the Tucson community really do impact people who live here. They're working here. We would like to connect with some nonprofits and kind of focus on the things that they're doing. Different organizations, whether they're sporting organizations or other groups that are bringing a better quality of life here, because that does make a difference to people that are looking at moving to Tucson. And we are huge supporters of things that are good for Tucson. There are a lot of people out there doing a lot of great things, and we just want to be able to talk about those things and bring those organizations to our listeners.
Yeah, I agree, Sandra. And we try to we want to promote the small businesses that are out there and the small organizations and the small nonprofits that are needing help and assistance and stuff. Just come on the show or talk about those kind of issues. That you understand those kind of things. Another thing we'll be talking with vendors and people in our industry. You know, we're talking about lenders or title and escrow people or maybe home inspectors, people who do roof inspections, all the different things that are people who are in our industry who we work around every day, and have them come out and talk about what they do and give you some little secrets about, you know, what you can do to protect or keep your home if you're in a home right now. Here's some secrets we know about roof inspections. Hey, here's some things you need to think about every year you need to do with your roof. Or maybe a termite guy say, here's some things you need to look at when you're going through the house, you know, the summer and winter, and you go through monsoon. Check out for these things after the monsoon season. I don't know what they are because I'm not a termite guy. So we'll have them come out here and talk about the little secrets and tidbits. I think we have a lot of fun information. Try to have some fun, and we're talking with you guys and hoping that you enjoy the show and listen to us repeatedly over and over again. That's our goal. We want to have fun. We want to inform you. But we also want to make sure that we are community focused and that everyone knows that it's all about being here in Tucson and getting people here in Tucson who wants to be in Tucson.
Yeah, and if we can, I'd like to take a quick half step back with you guys. You're talking about the community focus and how you want to highlight the nonprofits and just other great groups in the community, and that's fitting for you guys because you guys are part of, you know, a lot of really great organizations and great, you know, nonprofits in a way in our community that serve. So I you know, if you will, maybe share with our listeners some of those organizations that you are part of, you know, that they could be part of, or just kind of get a taste of the type of people that you guys are.
Well, one thing we can tell you that we're U of A fans, so take that. We love the Wildcats. My first time when I started volunteering, I volunteered to be the videographer for the University of Arizona, Pride of Arizona. I was actually, for 7 years, I was their videographer, volunteering for that. And then when I retired out of Raytheon, me and Sandra took a real hard look at what we were trying to do and what we wanted to do. And we wanted to help our community. And so what happened is that I became a member of the Junior Achievement. I'm actually the chair for the Board of Development for the Junior Achievement, which is a nonprofit that handles for underserviced kids and getting them to understand entrepreneurship and the possibilities of being successful. And my main goal is to keep people in Tucson. I want our kids, all these smart and bright kids, whatever they decide to do, to keep it local and stay in Tucson and help this community get better. We're also members of the
the
Let me finish.
Barstool
Yeah,
Sports
I forgot all
Arizona
about it,
Bowl.
yeah.
We're co-chairing that committee, which we think is just awesome for athletes. It's great for our community. Not only is this a world-class experience for the athletes that are invited to participate in our bowl here in Tucson, the business that comes from that is phenomenal. And then the nonprofits in Tucson, they've averaged right around $1 million a year that they've raised for nonprofits, and that all stays in Tucson. And we're just really excited about that. A lot of people probably know the bowl game didn't happen last year, and it was a huge disappointment for everyone. And so we're twice as excited this year to see that bowl game happen. And I'm trying to think we're just like we're part of the Arizona Sands Club. Again, just a wonderful organization that brings business people together. That's where we met Pastor John, found out about the Veteran Rescue Mission. We've met people from Gap Ministries there.
Yeah, also the fact is that I'm on 100 plus men who give to Tucson. That is a quarterly meeting of men who sit there and find charities to where we donate money to them every quarter. So we meet once a quarter. We have a consortium of a conversation. 3 people are nominated, or 3 charities are nominated. And of the 3 charities, we pick one, and then that one gets all the funds that are given by the 100 Men to Give. Also, me and Sandra are fundraisers for the Tucson Youth Football and Spirits and Spirit Federation. We're active in them. We've raised money for their organization. So we want to be in the community. We want to help the community. We love the nonprofits. We're here to do whatever we can. And if they want to come on and promote the organization, we would love to hear from them. But that's what we're here about, is make sure that Tucson stays relevant. And I guess the word is healthy. We want to have a healthy community for everyone to sit there and have fun. So when time goes on, we can see these kids grow up and stay in Tucson.
You know, one of the other organizations, speaking of kids, is the Southern Arizona Construction Career Days. That's new for us. We've just started working with them, and they're providing opportunities for middle school and high school students to get some hands-on experience with some really cool heavy equipment and different trades. Maybe they're not headed for college. There could be a good business out there for an entrepreneur to pursue. And we can't forget about FC Tucson, our Roadrunner, our hockey team, the Sugar Skulls. There are just a lot of things that add to the quality of life in Tucson. And we just want to share those things with listeners and give those organizations an opportunity to come on and talk about how they contribute to our community.
Yes, Sandra. I think what we'll do next is that in the next segment, we'll talk about what we have tickets for and a game that we're supporting. And with that being said, if you can reach me and Sandra, at the IamRealEstateShow.com or rsmithindy-realty.com or Sandra-at-indy-realty.com.
And we'll be right back.
We are back with I Am Real Estate Show with Raymond Smith, Sandra Johnson with Indy Realty, and our guest host here, John McLean with Veterans Rescue Mission. Thanks
Pleasure
for being
to be
here.
Yeah, love it.
Not the John McClane from the
movie Die
Yeah.
Hard. Yeah.
No, not him.
No yippee-ki-yays in this studio. Yeah.
Well, Raymond, you wanted to talk a little bit about the sports
scene here in Tucson.
Yeah.
I wanted to let everybody know that there's a lot of things you can do around the city, and we're actively involved in a lot of the sports teams. I'm just letting you guys know that we have, we're season ticket holders for the U of A, for women's basketball, for football, and we also have season tickets to Sugar Skulls. We have season tickets for the Roadrunners and FC Tucson. So we're trying our best to get ourselves around the city and get these sporting events and make sure they don't leave again like they did before. We want to make sure that they get supported. So we're excited about that. With that being said, and talking a little bit about sports, Sandra wants some things that we want to talk about now is about the real reason why we have this show, and to talk a little bit about real estate. And I'll let you lead off.
Well, some of the things that we're seeing in the market right now, I know for buyers, they're out there writing a lot of offers, and it's a frustration to them. Sellers, it's great. Sellers, they know that chances are they're going to sell, and there's a good chance. that they're going to sell for over asking price.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're looking at about 102% of asking price as an average, but that there are probably some that are coming in under, but a lot that are coming in significantly over asking price.
Mm.
So some of the challenges are the affordability issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Raymond had something he wanted to mention on the affordability.
Yeah, this is a quote from NAR Chief Economist Louis Young, stated at the 2020 Realtor Legislative Meeting, quote, mortgage now compared to a few months ago are costing more money for home buyers for the medium price home. The difference is $300 to $400 per month, which is a hefty toll for a working family, unquote. And this was at the RIC Media. I got this from RIS Media, May 6th, 2022.
Mm.
And that's a big deal. $300 to $400 is a lot for single family trying to make a living and be homeowners.
Mm-hmm. Especially when, I mean, a lot of these people, I mean, just from when I remember, your average mortgage, you know, what, $800 to $1,500 a month. Like, let's just say if, you know, your mortgage is $1,000 a month, if you're paying almost 50% more, almost $400 more for, you know, the average mortgage, like, who could afford that? Who could afford 50% more in costs in their living than before?
Yeah, and I like to say that it looks dire, but it's not, because there are opportunities out there. And I think Sandra always says back then, you just have to find what you're looking for in your price range. It's there, and you have to be willing to now, I'm not saying wait it out, but just willing to go through the challenges of getting there, because you're going to have some failures. But I was always told that what makes the best person, not how you fail, is how you get up after it fails. So we have to make sure that if it fails, okay, we go to the next one, we find the next one, we go to one after that, and we keep going until we get there. Because we've had a lot of buyers in this community and over the last couple of months that we found homes for. So there are homes out there for you. So don't get away from the market.
Mm.
Come into the market, but come in with people who are experienced, everything like we are, and we can probably help you find that home. We're not going to say it's going to happen today, because you're going to have a lot of challenges as you move forward. As you see, first thing you got to do, you got to make sure you can afford. You're talking about having buying power, so that's the first thing you want to make sure you're able to do. So things like that is something we need to think about. But I wanted to make sure they understand that it's not dire. We're out there.
Yeah,
things are out there.
No, and interest rates have come up, and that's kind of a painful point for a lot of people, especially if they've been waiting, hoping that inventory is going to improve.
Mm.
Right.
And inventory is not improving, but interest rates are going up.
Right.
So it's, people don't like the idea of paying top dollar for a house, especially if it's not in move-in condition. But the reality is that there's a cost to not buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're waiting and your rent is over $1,000 a month, that's money that you're never going to get back.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to people whose rent is $2,500 a month.
Mm.
So you think about waiting 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
What is the cost of not moving forward today? And so I think that's something that you have to keep in mind. Our inventory is still not great. If you are looking at inventory, to have a balanced market where we have kind of an equal playing field for buyers and sellers, we want 6 months of inventory.
Mm.
So that means if no new houses come on the market, in 6 months we would sell everything that we currently have on the market. We're under 1 month. So we're far from being balanced. So as a buyer, you need to be a little bit more aggressive out there. You may not get everything you want on this first purchase that you make or on your next purchase that you make.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to kind of compromise. And I think it's worth it, though. At the end of the day, it's worth it.
I think the one things that we always try to mention, and I think you were talking about, is that you're never going to get 100% no matter where you get a home, whether it's going to be new construction or the older home. It doesn't. I consider older homes anything before 1980 or after that. It's never going to be 100%. So what do you think they should be thinking about when they do go looking for their house? When we go and show them a house, say, here, what are some of the things they need to think about?
I think you have to think about location and obviously your budget.
Mm.
You want to stay in your budget, because it's never fun to be in your dream home if you can't eat on a regular basis because you're house poor.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think about your budget, but then also thinking about the location. whether that's, your proximity for how far you're driving for work or the things that you love to do, or if, you have children and in the commute to get them, especially if they're at a charter school where you're driving, those things are really relevant. And then when you're looking at the house, I think it's the floor plan.
Okay.
Can you live with the floor plan? And if not, even if it's, say, a little small for you, is that something that you can add onto a floor plan that's going to make sense to grow with your family or with your needs? Those are the kinds of things, that you want to look at.
That makes perfect sense. I definitely, I'm glad you say that because, my wife and I, over the next year we'll be looking for a house, and that's mainly what she's been looking at is floor plans, and we've certainly been discussing like what we're looking at a floor plan. So thank you for saying that, because it's certainly validated in the effort that we've put in so far, and I'm sure it's very useful for those out there that are looking for a house, whether it's their first time or not even their first time, but they just don't even know where to start and what should be like the first piece that they look at.
And I think that's one thing that Sandra's really, really good at. I mean, she's amazing at is giving the client what they think they need to think about before they start going. And we got one more segment left, and we've got one more thing to say to you. If you have any real estate needs, give Sandra and myself a call. And we can be reached at the IamRealEstateShow.com or rsmith@indies-realty.com or Sandra@indie-realty.com. We want to sit there and take care of your real estate needs. And if you need anything, give us a call. We think we can, or give us an email, and we'll be able to help you out. We believe we can help you out in whatever you need. Look forward to hearing from you guys. We got one more segment coming up. We're very excited about this show, and we hope you keep listening.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I Am Real Estate Show, brought to you by these two people, Ray Smith and Sandra Johnson. I hope you guys are ready for some more amazing show with pretty much everything you need to know about real estate. And particularly if you haven't checked out Indie Realty, or if you haven't checked out IamRealEstateShow.com, go ahead and check it out today, because it'll not only keep you updated on the market, but it'll also keep you in the know about, what to expect when it comes to home buying. But all that being said, let me go ahead and turn it over to the folks of the hour. We got Sandra Johnson and Ray Smith in the house. And why don't you go ahead and, Sandra, fill us in on some April stats.
Before we go, I thought I'd bring it up to Sandra. If there's something I thought she might want to mention is how close are we returning to a balanced market, do you think?
I actually don't think we're very close to a balanced market. There are some clients that we've been working with that are on the market in Washington, and they thought they were going to be off the market their first weekend. And they're still for sale after 2 weeks. And, it used to be you were on the market for 30, 60, 90 days and nobody was in a panic. But now it's like, oh, I've been on the market 14 days. What's going on? That the market is shifting. And it is a little bit. We have to think about the fact that with interest rates going up, people are not prepared because now their buying power is reduced. So they've been looking at houses maybe that were, $25,000 more than what they want to look at now, because they're kind of trying to roll it back a little bit. And so that's a tough move to make when you think, my house payment's going to be the same. I couldn't find anything at the price I was looking at, but now I have to take a step back because the interest rates have gone up.
When you think about their expectations, we have to. Now, you said they're looking at a totally different thing now. I used to look at 350 homes. Now I got to look at 300 homes. And how do you get their expectation to understand that's just the way the market is, but it doesn't mean it has to be a final home?
Well, and that's just the way the market is today.
Exactly.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I have some clients that just closed on their home, and they went down to one car, but they have a house.
Yeah.
And they have a house that's their first home, and they're excited about it. They're working from home. They made some lifestyle adjustments that allowed them to be first-time home buyers. I can't tell you how proud I am of them for making that a priority in their life. Yeah. I think that owning a home is probably I know in my personal life, it's given me more financial stability than any other decisions I've made over a lifetime. We were talking about interest rates being, coming up over 5%. And I can tell you that when I bought my first house, which was somewhere around 1983, I was 18 ish. I guess I'd have to go back and do the math. Our interest rate was 10.5%. We were so excited to be down to 7. We thought we hit the lottery. It was exciting. Everybody was refinancing to 7% back in the day. And so the interest rates that we've had recently have been, unrealistically low. And so part of it is just that we have to understand that it's still better to manage your expenses going forward than to be in a rental where you don't know where the rents are going. I'll tell you, a lot of our inventory is being purchased by investors. And so if they're paying more for the house than you are willing to pay for it, you're not going to be able to rent that for less than what your mortgage payment was going to be. That's one of the things that we're dealing with now. I also kind of want to just talk about looking at information that's out there. Everybody's trying to provide information that will make you read their article or whatever it is that they're providing for you. And so you have to be a little bit cautious when you're looking at those stats. And so I brought one with me today that, days on market are increasing. Well, they're up 6.3%. It sounds like, the market's shifting. In reality, we've gone from 16 days to 17 days. That's not really a big shift, right? But when you're looking at a statistic like that, they can look like something big's happening when it may be just a minor shift. So be careful about, the source for your articles and that you're interpreting the data, I guess.
But isn't that great? To me, I think it's great that they are reading and finding out information, but I also believe that it's important that they find somebody they trust. And like we said, trusting a good real estate agent who will sit there and maybe decipher that information or go back and do some research on that information and say, here's what it really is. And that's what I think as you go through and as you're reading that information, it's great to read it. But you should think about giving me and Sandra a call and say, hey, we just read this about this. We're talking about putting our house on the market. We now heard the days of market now 6.3% more. How is that? And then they give us a chance to then go research and come back and give you the information. I think the one thing that I'm proud of what we do is that we try to give you the most information to make the best decision. I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of, that we will go the extra yard to find out everything we can about your home, your neighborhood, the buyer's ability to purchase a home, all the information we need to find out before we give it to you to make a final decision. So I'm kind of excited about it. So when you sit there and you're reading this information and it seems to be doesn't make sense or you just wonder, that's the best time to start thinking about giving Indie Realty a call and see if anything we can do to help you understand or decipher that information.
And that actually makes me think, brings up a good question to mind, is like, what is one of the largest misconceptions or misnomers that home buyers have when it comes to this type of information?
One thing I think to say is that you can't afford it. And my point is that you can afford it. It just may not be the price that you want, but you can afford a home. I believe you can. If you sit there and find your lender and get your buying power and you understand what your price is, it makes it so much easier to navigate through this business. And when you know what you want and your real estate agent at Indy really knows what they want, you're both walking down the same path and you're finding the same thing. And where it would take maybe 6 months for you to find a home, it might take a little shorter because you both are walking down the same path. So to me, it's knowing that you really can own a home, but you have to do your homework and you have to understand what you're getting. And I will tell you this, that sometimes it's just not, it may not be easy. Sometimes life is not easy because you may find out, hey, my credit is bad or this is bad. But that's why you want to talk to a lender. So he can guide you to that information and guide you to around the right path. So when you get there, you're ready to go. So I always say there's no time like the present to start looking for a home. If you're 15 years old, start looking for a home. See if you get a job. See what money's cost. See how much the house will cost. See what you're looking for. What part of town you want to be in, or what state you want to be in. Let's be honest. You might not want to be in Tucson, even though we're trying to keep you in Tucson. But just go look at those things. But you can do it. That's what my thing is. I'm trying to say you can do it. Don't be afraid. You have the power. It's just a matter of getting the information you need and making a decision. Would you agree, Sandra?
Yeah, I actually think that even though it's maybe tougher than what it's been at different points in the past, knowing what you need to do is the first step. So whether that is meeting with a lender and finding out what you qualify for, or finding out how much savings you need to have, it's competitive out there. You want to talk to an agent that is good at writing offers. You know, because it's not always about the highest priced offer. It's the one that's going to have the best chance of succeeding. And so you want to write an offer well. But, you know, back to kind of the question you started with, I think one of the things that always surprises me is that people will hire us, whether they're hiring us to list their home for sale or they're using us to help them find their home, and they want our advice. And then they run into a friend who will tell them, you know,
their all-knowing friend.
You need to probably write at like 95% of the asking price. And then all this work we've done to prepare them and to get ready to find that house, and we take a huge step backwards because now we have a friend who's not really part of the conversation. And it's not always a friend. It could be anyone who just happened to have that conversation. They plant a seed, you know, of what this buyer or seller needs to do. And it's like, this is our profession. And so, you know, we're here not to tell you what to do, but to advise you. And so, you know, I found the same thing back when I was with the home inspection franchise. Franchise owners would pay a lot of money to be part of a system and to get the training and the manuals, and then they wanted to do it their way a lot of times, because you have people that are very independent spirits, and so they would pay for the right to have all those things, and then they would go, but I want to do it my way. And so I would just say, you know, if you hire somebody and you trust them, you know, follow their advice, or at least look into it, at least investigate it, you know, because you're probably getting some solid advice from somebody who has, you know, if they're representing a buyer, maybe they've written 5 offers already and gone back to the agent and said, what could we have done better? You know, you could have written it this way, or, you know, some of the things that we have to do to have a successful offer. And so, yeah, if you're going to hire someone, just follow their lead, not blindly, but certainly do more listening.
Yeah,
right?
you're paying them, so you might as well listen.
Take their advice.
And I truly like what you said about the fact of the best chance of winning the contract. So that's the thing you've got to think about. It's not about the price sometimes, but how you write it. So you want to
absolutely, yeah. So I'm going to close this out. Yeah. So you can find us at I Am Real Estate Show or Indie Realty. Raymond's phone number is 520-904-7711, or you can reach me at 520-850-1725. We'd love to help you. Those are cell phones. You can call or text us there, and then indierealty.com.
Yeah, and they got a lot of great listings. If you have a great listing that you want them to put on the market for you, go ahead and give them a call. You'll be able to catch us here every single week. So if you need information about the market, tune into I Am Real Estate Show every week.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
We appreciate you.